Hey, the red light's on. I think it's working. This is a message to you guys, the COVID long haulers. I got my computer here. I appreciate, number one, your patience. Or maybe I should back up a little bit. My name's Dr. Ben. I am going to answer you guys some of your questions. I've had some experience with some of the members of this group, and I really just want to help you guys out. Who am I? I'm Dr. Ben from Ironclad Immunity. I've been treating patients with immune system problems for a long time now. We have a special program, blah, blah, blah. You can look me up later if you have questions, but let's get right down to the stuff that you guys want to know. First question right now, I answer these kind of one-on-one, and I'll put these links on one of my YouTube channels for Ironclad, and then I can link that directly into the group. So you guys can watch them. I do appreciate your patience with the video. I hope that the admins of this group are cool with that. It's just, these questions are too complex sometimes to answer in text, and it gets long and verbose and all that kind of stuff. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm just here to help. Okay, let's start with the question that April Fitch had. Also, Laura Graves Engel also had the same question, or wanted to know that. So April and Laura want to know, what can we do for this extreme fatigue? Okay, I can't stay awake for much more than a few hours at a time, and I'm constantly exhausted. Fantastic question, you guys. I totally understand that. There can be a number of reasons why you have this. So the first thing is you have to understand that when you have damage to your lungs, now it depends on your system. So if you want to talk on you specifically directly, I'm just going to answer this globally. A lot of times people, when they have long haul COVID, they have lung damage. Lung damage really results in what? That we don't get enough oxygen into our body. And as a result of not getting enough oxygen into our body, what does oxygen do? Right? Oxygen is the gasoline, I guess you could say, or maybe it's the air, literally, that burns a fire. So you can have food, you can have a lot of food and glucose and things in your cells to be able to burn, but if you don't have the oxygen that you need there to be able to burn it, you're going to feel tired and fatigued all the time, right? There's other reasons that could happen, like for example, somebody who has what they call fever here in the Netherlands, but I think they call that mononucleosis in the US, where your red blood cells don't transport enough oxygen to the cells. If your heart doesn't pump well enough, the reason we get tired when our heart doesn't pump is basically for the same reason, because our cells don't get enough oxygen. So if it's a lung-related thing, if you're having problems breathing, if you have COVID itself, it's the oxygen issues that are a problem. So you could say to yourself, well, I'm going to increase my oxygen intake, I'm going to give myself an oxygen tank and pump more oxygen into my lungs, and what you're going to end up having is more lung damage, because high levels of oxygen, weirdly enough, are toxic for lung cells. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that. How we address that sort of thing, so that's one reason. If, let's say, your fatigue is based around that you can't breathe properly, you're not getting enough lung stuff, what can you do? You can do specific kinds of breathing exercises. We cover all this stuff in Ironclad, but there's specific things you can do breathing-wise that help increase your lung capacity. Reach out to me directly. I'll give you some simple exercises and things that you can try, but I need to know specifically what's going on with you. That's why it's sort of hard to talk about this and that thing. But let's say your lungs are damaged, right? You need to start to working on healing your lung things. There's a number of different things that you can do, both conservative, both more alternative. There's lots of things, and really what you should probably be doing are both. So that's one thing. Are your lungs working properly? Let's say you've healed and you still are, but you're still just really, really dead tired. A lot of times what we'll see, and this is one of the reasons why people struggle with immune function in general, it has to do with the rest of their system. It's not the oxygenation of stuff so much as it's what? The kind of metabolism that you're running. Are you having really, really poor response in your metabolic system? Is that compromising your immune system? Is that why you got COVID in the first place? Because you're overweight and you need to lose that weight. Well, you don't know how, right? We cover this directly in Ironclad. It's exactly the stuff we address, and how we do that is amazing and unique. So is it more of the thing about like the things that you're eating are creating inflammation in your body that leads to a poor immune response? What about if you're in this situation where you've still got COVID in you, or if you've got other sort of bugs and viruses and side effects now? How do you strengthen your immune system? That's a totally different ball, and that's what this group's about, right? How do we heal that stuff? So it's difficult to answer questions directly in this thing. That's why if you need my help, I'm happy to be there for you. Just reach out. I'll do what I can to help you. So that's one thing. Is it more of a breathing thing? going in breathing direction. There are breathing exercises you can do. You can search ones on YouTube. How are you going to know if it's beneficial for you? How are you going to know? You're going to feel better. If you need specific advice, reach out. Most people do because it's a complex situation, right? But everybody can breathe better. Most people don't breathe very well, right? So how do we know that? Let's do this as an example. Look to the side here. Let's say that if I'm breathing in and I do this, breathe in and breathe out, right? That's not how we're supposed to breathe. We're supposed to breathe like this. You breathe in, belly goes out, and breathe out, belly comes in. It causes your diaphragm to drop and your stomach to fall out. Breathing in, and breathe out. If you find when you breathe in, you do this, you're doing things the wrong way. You're breathing more with your like upper chest. You're kind of expanding, and this thing is restrictive. You need to let your belly fall out. If any of you have babies or maybe grandkids, look at how a baby breathes. They always breathe through your belly. So what you need to do is, the first thing I would give you for everybody, this is a tip for anybody, even people who aren't struggling with COVID and getting better from it. Number one tip is simply learn to breathe properly, right? How do you do that? Set your hand on your tummy, breathe in, let your belly fall out, and when you breathe out, push the air out, literally with your hands, suck your belly in and push the air out. And keep doing that until it becomes normal. If you find that it's like you breathe reversed, simply changing this can make a big benefit with your breathing and then your energy. If you find that your breathing is okay, then you're probably gonna need an entire other thing going on with that. Basically, why are you dealing with metabolic issues? Why are you dealing with pain? Why are you dealing with struggling with that? Why can't you lose weight? Why is your immune system compromised? Those are all the things that we address specifically. That's a much more complex thing, and it's probably why you ended up getting COVID in the first place. So, or not fighting it off in a natural way. So it's really complex. I don't mean to oversimplify these things. There's no way I can like give this sort of answer in a tight format or like going back and forth. It's just too complex. So again, I'm happy to reach out to you. My life goal, a little bit about me, is just simply helping people. That's what we do in Ironclad. That's what we do in my practices here. Who am I? I'm an American doctor who's living and practicing in the Netherlands for a while. I'm more of an alternative healthcare guy. I was originally an MD. Didn't really like the focus on pharmaceutical medications with that. So we're learning other stuff. So, I gotta go. Next patient's here. All right.